Burkina Faso's bold step into the gold refining industry marks a historic moment in its economic evolution. The recent operationalization of its first state-owned gold refinery represents a move towards self-sufficiency and economic independence. Under the leadership of Captain Ibrahim Traore, the military-led government has taken a decisive stand against foreign dominance in its mining sector. This refinery, located in Ouagadougou, aims to ensure that more of the gold value chain remains within the country, creating jobs, boosting state revenues, and reducing illicit activities in the sector. Before we dive deeper into today's update, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is key to helping us grow and reach more viewers like you. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on exciting updates. Burkina Faso, long recognized as one of Africa's top gold producers, has historically relied on foreign entities to extract and refine its resources, leading to massive capital flight. The new refinery changes that narrative, signaling a shift toward local control and resource nationalism. As Captain Traore has emphasized, the country has both the capability and the right to manage its own resources without over-reliance on multinational corporations. The significance of Burkina Faso's refinery extends beyond its borders. To the south, Ghana, Africa's leading gold producer, faces a starkly different reality. The country is in the throes of an escalating crisis fueled by illegal small-scale mining, commonly referred to as Galamsey. Over the years, Galamsey has grown into a multi-billion-dollar shadow economy, wreaking havoc on Ghana's environment, water bodies, and agricultural lands. The crisis is compounded by soaring global gold prices, which have incentivized thousands to engage in illegal mining activities. Ghana's major rivers, including the Pra and Ankobra, are now heavily polluted with mercury and cyanide, putting communities at risk. The Ghana Water Company has even issued warnings that, if unchecked, the country may be forced to import potable water by 2030. The human toll is equally dire, with reports of birth defects and kidney failure linked to toxic chemicals used in the mining process. Despite numerous government interventions, including military crackdowns, policy directives, and presidential promises, Galamsey remains deeply entrenched. Enforcement has been inconsistent, partly due to political reluctance, corruption, and the powerful influence of both local and foreign actors in the trade. Chinese nationals have played a significant role in illegal mining, particularly in hotspots like Wassa Akrapong, where their operations have fueled tensions between communities and law enforcement agencies. In the midst of all this, an estimated 85% of Ghana's 1 million artisanal miners operate illegally, smuggling a significant portion of their gold across borders, particularly to Togo and Côte d'Ivoire. The result is a massive economic loss, with Ghana bleeding approximately $2 billion annually in lost taxes. Burkina Faso's state-run refinery offers a potential blueprint for Ghana to rethink its approach to the Galamsey crisis. If Ghana were to establish a similar facility, it could serve as a centralized processing hub, reducing smuggling by providing legal avenues for small-scale miners to sell their gold at fair prices. At present, much of Ghana's Galamsey gold is smuggled out of the country, depriving the economy of critical revenue. By capturing this gold within its borders, Ghana could reinvest profits into infrastructure, environmental restoration, and community development. Burkina Faso's model also suggests that a state-led approach to mining governance could be more effective than relying on multinational corporations that prioritize profit over national development. Another key lesson lies in the formalization of artisanal mining. One of Ghana's biggest challenges has been distinguishing between legal small-scale mining and Galamsey. The lack of comprehensive data on illegal miners has made it difficult to regulate the sector effectively. Burkina Faso's strategy of integrating artisanal miners into a regulated framework offers a potential solution. By formalizing the industry, Ghana could ensure that miners receive proper training, access to safer equipment, and incentives to adopt environmentally friendly practices. This would not only minimize the ecological damage caused by Galamsey, but also help legitimize an important economic sector that employs thousands. Regional cooperation presents another avenue worth exploring. Many of the Galamsey miners in Ghana are migrants from neighboring countries, including Burkina Faso. With the introduction of Burkina Faso's state refinery, these miners may now have an incentive to remain in their home country, rather than crossing into Ghana in search of work. Strengthening cross border collaboration through intelligence sharing, joint patrols, and regulatory harmonization could help curb illegal mining activities that straddle national boundaries. Additionally, a concerted effort to dismantle smuggling networks could ensure that more of West Africa's gold wealth benefits its people rather than illicit traders. Ghana's current approach to tackling Galamsey has leaned heavily on military crackdowns, but history has shown that punitive measures alone are unsustainable. Earlier this year, military operations targeting illegal mining sites resulted in at least 7 deaths, sparking public outcry. While law enforcement remains necessary, a more balanced approach that prioritizes economic empowerment over criminalization could yield better results. Burkina Faso's refinery represents an alternative strategy, one that focuses on creating legitimate economic opportunities rather than simply cracking down on illegal activity. If Ghana were to invest in similar infrastructure, it could provide Galamsey miners with a legal pathway to participate in the formal economy rather than forcing them underground. However, adopting elements of Burkina Faso's model would not come without challenges. Unlike Burkina Faso, which is under military rule and can implement swift policy decisions, Ghana operates within a democratic framework where reforms are often slowed by political negotiations and bureaucratic obstacles. The country's mining sector is also heavily influenced by powerful vested interests, making substantial policy shifts difficult to execute. While Burkina Faso's gold refinery is a bold step toward economic self sufficiency, it remains in its early stages, with its long term viability uncertain, especially given the persistent security threats from jihadist groups in the Sahel region. One of the biggest challenges Ghana faces in replicating such an initiative is funding. Establishing a large scale state owned refinery requires significant investment, and Ghana's current economic climate presents fiscal constraints. Corruption is another major concern, as past efforts to regulate the mining industry have often been derailed by officials with conflicting interests. If Ghana is to follow Burkina Faso's lead, strict oversight mechanisms will be necessary to ensure that gold refining benefits the nation as a whole rather than a select few. Beyond infrastructure, Ghana must address the root causes of illegal mining, Galamsey, such as poverty and limited employment opportunities. A long term solution would require not only regulatory enforcement, but also investment in education, skills training, and alternative industries to reduce dependency on small scale and unregulated mining. Burkina Faso's refinery is more than an economic project. It symbolizes a nation taking control of its resources and rejecting external exploitation. Ghana, on the other hand, faces an ongoing crisis. Every year, billions of dollars in gold are lost to smuggling, while communities bear the devastating environmental and social consequences of unchecked mining. Burkina Faso's approach may not be perfect, but it offers a potential blueprint for reform. Ghana's leaders must now decide: continue down a path of environmental degradation and economic loss, or take decisive action to reclaim the nation's gold wealth through strategic policy changes. The urgency of this crisis cannot be overstated. Ghana's rivers are being polluted, its forests are disappearing, and its people are suffering from the unregulated exploitation of the country's natural resources. The Galamsey crisis is not unsolvable, but addressing it requires bold leadership, innovative policies, and the political will to implement lasting change. Burkina Faso has shown what is possible when a country takes control of its resources. Ghana has the expertise, the capacity, and the potential to do the same. The question remains, will it rise to the challenge, or will illegal mining continue to dictate its future?
If today is your first time watching this channel or you are returning to this channel for the exciting content, please subscribe to the channel for more educative and developmental projects across Ghana and Africa as a whole. Do you want to know about the state of a project in Africa? Then make sure to like and comment the name of the project you would like us to talk about and its current state.